Nagagalit ang aking ano. Okay na, Moyo? Clear na, Moyo? Alright. So we'll just go back. We'll just go back just for a couple of want to go back. We don't want to go back in a we don't want to go back and speak in a tangent. Nothing is what did she say again? I forgot. Sorry. Can you repeat that? Unmute yourself. Sorry. Okay, thank you, Moyo. All right. What did she say again? Who was the last person? I'm sorry. I got a little distracted. Hello? I got Kim. Sorry, Kim. Very good. Hemolytic. That'll be more on yeah, I guess to a certain extent, yeah. But you guys have to have an imagination there, all right? Hemolytic disease of newborn for what? The mother or the fetus? That's my concern. That's my question. For the mother or the fetus? Kim. Remember, we're detecting antibodies against what? Against we're detecting antibodies that are bound in the cell surface of RBCs. Okay? The mother or the fetus? HDFN. For which one? Mother or fetus? Who can answer? All right, let's put the discussion in the chat box na lang. I want to see how many people understand or could be lucky enough to guess the answer correctly. Dexter said the mother. Okay. Who else? Chrysia said fetus. Okay. What about the other people? Sir Marco, how many people do we have? Ayan, o, di ba nagsagutan bigla? Nagsagutan bigla. Majority of the people said mother. A lot of people said mother. Okay, we're ending the discussion with we're ending the survey with Ronalyn Kajandab. Gets praise na lang. Gets praise. Okay, when I put a line there, I it means I end the everybody gets praise for answering. There's only one person who gets a score here. The person who answered fetus, and that is Krisha. Okay? Krisha. Where are you, Krisha? Where is Krisha? Hi, Krisha. Hi. All right. Now, can you explain to me why you answered fetus? You're correct, but explain to me why you answered fetus. Mm-hmm. RH type. Transplacental transfer. Yes, very good. Tinatranslate ko lang in English yung sinasabi niya, no? I love it. Actually, I love it. Okay? It means that you have a good grasp of what is being taught here. All right? So, Moyo, pakidagdagan naman ng 1 point si Krisha. Okay? Thank you, Moyo. All right. So, he's correct. Mm-hmm. Yun nga yung sasabihin ko. Kakainis ka, Sir Marco. I was about to get to the point, but yeah, she's correct. He's correct. Yung hemolytic disease of the newborn. Okay? So, bound antigens doon sa RBCs ng bata. Okay? Well, can we use Coombs test also for the mother? Yes, but this time we are detecting antibodies against the baby. All right? So we can use in vitro sensitization naman with that one. So for the mother, okay? Don't get confused. So I want you guys to understand the concepts. I'm not asking you to memorize. I want you guys to understand the concepts because as Krisha have exhibited, she understands the concepts of antibody antigen binding, right? Where the antigen starts to bind with the antibody, and when we add the red thing that you see there, all right? What's the red thing again, Renmar? Si Renmar ang pagtitripan ko. Renmar. What's that red thing over there? That is, what? That is AHG. Kasi nga anti-human globulin nga, nakakainis ka, Junakis. Huwag mo kong pinapahiya, Junakis. Alright. Nasa na yung isa kong Junak-nak? Kayo talaga, ha? So, it is the mother. Okay? So, it is the, that's the fetus. Okay? So, when you're using direct Coombs test, we are detecting in vivo sensitization in the baby. So, ibig sabihin, ito na yung second child. Okay? Ito na yung second child to be specific. Kasi yung first child, wala naman pakialam si first child. Eh. Siya yung nag-cause ng ng problema. Kaya nagkaroon ng HDFN yung sibling niya. Okay? Si second child, most likely, ang dinedetect natin is, and most likely, ang problema na niyan is, through autopsy sample na siya. Bakit namatay ang bata? 'Di ba? Yun usually ang because the moment a baby with HDFN goes out of the body, okay, transplacental transfer begins to the moment. Actually, it can die in utero. The child can die in utero. And medical legal some states tuloy, some hospitals in the Philippines would want to know how the baby died, and this is how they would do it. Okay? Clear? Clear? Okay. So in vitro sensitization, this is what we do actually in the blood bank. Okay? We are trying to detect free-flowing antibodies by what? Kaya siya indirect kasi hindi rekta na mag-a-add tayo ng 'di ba? O yun ang tandaan niyo guys ha. Hindi tayo magre-rekta. Okay? Unlike dito, rekta. Dagdag lang kaagad ng AHG, incubate at 37 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes and then observe for clumping. Yan lang yon. Okay? Si indirect may additional processes. Alright? There are additional processes that you need to do. Number one is what? You collect the serum first. You centrifuge the serum. And you centrifuge the blood sample. You harvest the serum. Okay? Harvest serum. Okay? Now, the second step is to introduce what? What type of blood are we using? Oh, nakalimutan nila. Oh, type O blood. Type O ang ginagamit namin sa ospital. Okay? Type O blood. Bakit? Anong purpose si type O blood? Kasi wala masyadong interferences. O negative actually. Ay, O positive. Okay? O pass. Bakit? Anong problema? Para kumapit yung antibodies. Okay? Para kumapit yung antibodies. Specifically if we're testing for HDFN. Okay? Okay? We introduce RBCs. We just go with RBCs in general. Okay? I don't want to confuse you guys. This is a specialized test. Okay? Introduce RBCs. Now the serum, this one is your antibody source. This one is your antigen source. When they combine together, you'll form what? Antigen antibody complex. And what is the next step, Renmar? Lagi kong tinatanong sa'yo, isa lang ang isasagot mo lagi. Para magbuka tayong bright, Renmar. Ayan, na-highlight ko. Very good. Para magbuka tayong bright, Renmar. Di ba? HD. Okay? Di ba? Ayan. Now, bakit? Bakit kailangan natin ng assistance with AHG? Paano natin makikita ang clumping? Kasi, ang antibody source natin is what? What class do you think? What immunoglobulin class requires assistance? Oh, question na naman tayo niyan. IgM, IgG, IgA, IgE. Siyempre, obviously, hindi natin gagamitin si IgD kasi bound siya sa may sa RBC. O, ayan ang choices nyo. Class, survey time na naman tayo. Survey time. Alam nyo na, after survey time, papa-explain ko sa inyo kung bakit. So please, may points yan. Tsaka I think Sir Marco is keeping tabs on who are the people who are answering. I think, I'm not sure, but I think he is keeping tabs on who's answering and who's not. So class, survey time na tayo. Yan ang choices. Nasa harap. Please answer. Tama, kamay sa baba. Charet. Okay. You guys have you guys have 30 seconds. Timer starts now. Okay, we're going to end our survey with Mel. He's the last one on our survey list. Okay, last person that I'm going to this is the first one is the first one who said the one that I'm going to call is the first one who answered correctly. Let's go on the top. Renmar Canlas. Unfortunately, anak. Mali tayo, anak. Okay? Alright? So the correct answer is IGG. Okay? Correct answer is IGG. We'll discuss why. Okay? Dexter. Give me a break. Where's Dexter? Dexter, how are you? I haven't seen your face today. Where's Dexter? Hi, Dexter. All right, Dexter. Why did you answer IGG? Was it a guess, or what? Do you have an explanation on as to why IGG is the answer? And why did you choose IGG? Okay. Ay, wonderful. At least, in fairness, you answered the question a little bit incomplete, but that is almost the case. That you have the idea. Very good. So he's partially correct. Just a little bit of fine tuning in what he answered it, how he answered it. But remember which one of the two here I will highlight for you guys. Which one of the two has more antigenic sites or antibody binding sites rather? Raise your hands if you want to answer. Which one of the four? Which one of the two here that I highlighted for you has a lot of antibody binding, antigen binding sites? Yes, Kim is correct. She answered. She didn't raise her. She didn't unmute herself, but she's correct. Right. IgM has more binding sites. Right. IgM has more binding sites, so it doesn't need help from AHG. You can see it immediately. Correct. It doesn't need help. So basically, our AHG, we could call it assistant human globulin na lang. Ganun yung nasa utak ko lagi when I'm thinking how if I understand the concept, I make it I try to recreate the whole scenario in my brain. Okay? So I say it's just an assistant. So basically what it does is it assists in forming lattice. Okay, that's the next step, diba, in antigen antibody binding. And the last step, first is sensitization, the next is lattice formation. So AHG increases the rate of lattice formation, increases it by time, and it increases the sensitivity of the reaction. Okay, so you could have IgG form lattice. That is not incorrect, but the main reason why we use AHG is we want to enhance it. We want it to be visualized. To be quite honest with you, it actually assists more so than contribute to the reaction. Okay, so that is correct. That is correct, Dexter. Right, you are partially correct because the only one between the two that can react on an incubated sample, particularly body temperature, is 30 is IgG. There are subvariants of IgM. I'm not gonna say it's incorrect. I'm not gonna say IgM doesn't react in body temperature, but there are subvariants. That's the one that we're going to talk about when we go to antibodies in blood banking. Okay, there are subvariants there. I'm not gonna say, oh no, this is 100%. No, because science is finding out ways to explain certain phenomena, and that's the reason why you guys are here to understand what is going on. All right. So very good, future MLSs. Ano ibig sabihin ng MLS pala? Future MLS ang tawag ko sa inyo kasi gusto kini-claim ko na next time na magkikita tayo hindi na sa seminar. Saan na tayo magkikita? Sir Marco, saan ko na sila kikitain? Sir Mar- sa barangay hall kasi magda-drug testing tayo. Charet. Charet. Saan? Sa New York City na tayo magkikita. Sa Nectar ka dyan. Ayoko pupunta doon. Makalat doon, Valiant. Magkikita. Meron ma. Ay, taray. Is this a future invite? My goodness, Sir Marco, is this a future invite? Thank you so much. Kung ganon. Okay. Alright. Di ba, may future invite na ako. So, ibig sabihin pala niyan. Ano yan? Gay bar yan? Makalat doon? Diyos ko. Ito talaga to si Valiant. Hindi pa ako nakapunta pero narinig ko lang sa Drag Race. Anyways, let's continue. Let's erase everything. Alright, so Moyo, help me. So you guys understand now, right? Oh wait, one more question. I forgot to ask. I forgot one more question. Which among the two types of Coombs tests do you think will react with complement? Ayan na naman tayo. Direct or indirect? Okay? So we're going to start our survey with that one. Below nectar. Okay? Below nectar. Alrighty. That's the end. We're going to end our survey with Gracie. Okay? No more answers after that. Okay. So everybody is correct. Direct. Okay? Everybody is correct. Why? Kasi in vivo sensitization siya. Diba? Automatically, the complements are there. You don't need to. The sensitization occurs extravascularly, actually. Okay? So very good. Very good, everybody. So complements get activated more so here. So can you use this in? Can we use this in another test? Yes, complement fixation tests. Okay, so we can use this one. So with that in mind, guys, what type of reaction are we looking for? What's our positive reaction if we're depending on complements? Is it agglutination or hemolysis? That's my next question. Agglutination or hemolysis? Oops. Okay. Everybody said agglutination. Now, keep in mind, I'm talking about complements. All right. We'll stop our discussion. We'll stop our survey with Lil Zo. Lil Zo is the only one who answered correctly, I think. Bakit correct siya? I'm asking about complements. If we're asking about the positive reaction of Coombs test, it's always it's between the two Coombs test in general, not just direct and indirect. Where I'm asking, the positive result is going to be agglutination. That is okay. But what I'm asking specifically is complements. Okay? So, ano ba ang end ng reaction ng complements? Ay ano ba ang nasa punot dulo ng conclusion niya? Si Dexter din po. Ay sorry. Si Dexter din po. Sorry, Dexter. Nakalimutan kita. Masyadong mabilis yung mga tao mag-type. Sorry na, Dexter. Sorry. Can we give Dexter a hand, guys? Can we give him like a clap, guys? Okay? Just so he can feel good about himself. Sorry. Hindi ko na ano. Ganyan yung mga Americans ko na kasama. Kapag kami nakalimutan na isa na pasalamatan, can we give him a round of applause? Ganyan sila. Okay. Sa ating mga Pinoy, wala lang eh. Bahala kayo dyan. Tuloy ang trabaho. Sa mga kailangan pasalamatan sila. Okay? Alright. So yeah. Hemolysis is then. Bakit? Ano ba ang end ng complement fixation? Ano ba ang end product niya? Membrane attack complex, di ba? Ano mangyayari kung may membrane attack complex? Renmar. Halakaday. Haladay. Tandaan ha, smart na dapat. Pag mga Junakis ko, dapat smart na pretty pa, ha? Pretty pa lang. Right now, pretty pa lang tayo, ha? Okay. Pretty lang. Okay, so ano ang end product ng membrane attack complex? Ay, ano mangyayari pag nagkaroon ng membrane attack complex na nakabind sa RBC? Maghihimolize. Anak, o, 'di ba? 'Di ba maghihimolize, 'di ba? Anak, every time na maririnig mo membrane attack complex, membrane attack nga eh, inaatake ang membrane. Okay? Okay, anak. Anak ha. Anak, hindi matatapos ang semester na 'to. Hindi matatapos. Sasampalin kita. Ako, 7 p.m. na dito ha. Sasampalin kita, anak ha. Wala kang karapatan magreklamo, anak. Charet. Alright. Charet lang. Okay. Love ko pa rin naman mga anak ko kahit na ganyan yan. Nasa na yung isa. Nawawala yung isa kong anak. Umaano lang. Umi-etchos lang yung anak kong isa eh. Alright. Okay, so we can move on with our discussion in blood banking. This is our actual blood banking discussion. Moyo, can you do the honors of sharing the screen for us, sharing the lecture for us? I'll stop presenting now. Stop sharing. Okay. All right. Okay. Disconnect ko na din yung ano. Alisin ko na din sa... Ay, hindi. Isali ko lang yung account ng pamangkin ko. Just in case kailangan natin ng further elaboration of a specific discussion. Okay. Right. Ay, bakit si Leila yung ano? Si Leila yung nasa gitna? Ay, alam ko si Leila yung nasa gitna. Siya yung presentation natin. Okay. All right. So, this is our lecture. By the way, for those who don't know, my name is Manuel C. De Leon. Just a reintroduction. Charing lang. Just a reintroduction for those of you who don't know. Let's move on to the next slide, Marian. Thank you. Or Moyo, sorry. Okay, so today's agenda, what we are going to talk about is history of blood banking and transfusion medicine. Okay? A review of genetics, a review of immunology concepts applied in blood banking. So we might skim over the Coombs tests, okay, part there because we want to be fast. ABO blood group and ABO discrepancies. Okay, clear? So before we begin, please, if there's ever a chance for you to donate blood, please do. A lot of people die because of lack of blood supply. I've seen that firsthand when I worked in a military hospital. There was one soldier who got multiple traumatic accidents in a multiple organ. Who died of multiple organ failure because he didn't have the necessary amount of blood. Okay, so please, if you do have the opportunity to do so and you are healthy, okay, please do. And it doesn't don't worry for those people who are members of the LGBT community. Okay, technology right now is so advanced that we can detect it in the Dalton level. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, If you answer yes in one of the questionnaires there, you'll still be allowed to do to undergo the same procedures as there are as any member of society. Okay, so please, every blood donor is a lifesaver. Okay, so who here has donated blood in the past? Na parang ang pa-project ko sa Layla, yes. Thank you, Layla, for your service. Kim, thank you. Kita mo, puro girls ang nakikita ko. Si Noel. Patrick, nag-donate ka ng blood. Nako. Nako. Tinanggap naman ng blood. Hindi mo na alam, Patrick. Charing lang. Yes po, Suki. O nako, 'di ba? But actually kaya masaya dito sa Shumerica. Pag nagpa-plasmapheresis ka, pag nag-donate ka ng plasma, bibigyan ka ng $200. Di ba? Tax free. Sabi ko gusto kong mag-donate kaso masyuba ako. Laging ano ang lumalabas sa sample ko. Ano lang lagi, turbid. Kaya wala akong magawa. Hindi ako makapag-donate. May libreng cupcake sa St. Luke's. Oh, 'di ba? Libreng cupcake. Dito show $200. 'Di ba? Kaya kailangan mag-aral kayo para mag-donate lang ng blood, 'di ba? Pag nag-donate ka din ng ano ba 'yon, ng semen dito, may bayad din. 'Di ba? Lalo na pag ang pedigree mo bongga. Kasi idadaan ka with rigorous genetic testing. Meron akong katrabaho dito, nag-donate daw siya, $1,000 ang binigay kasi maganda yung pedigree niya kahit na mahirap siya. Okay? So, yun ang reason natin kung bakit kailangan magpunta ng ibang bansa para mag-donate ng samples. Okay? Charit. Charit lang. Okay? Huwag ganon. Huwag masyadong mukhang pera. Okay? Alright, next slide please. Let's talk about the history of blood banking. The history of blood banking goes so far as the Middle Ages, actually, with the height of Pope Innocent the 16th. I think it's Pope Innocent the 16th, or let's just go with Pope Innocent. I can't remember the numbers, but he was the first person to have a documented record of a blood transfusion with a young altar boy, I guess. I'm not sure, but he did have the first recorded transfusion reaction. But that's enough about that. We're going to talk about the ones that are usually asked in the Philippine board exams and in your ASCP certification exams. All right, next slide, please. Who is the father of blood banking? Who can answer that one? Moyo, hindi ka pwedeng sumagot, ha? Just a reminder. Hindi ka pwedeng sumagot. Ikaw pa lang ata ang mayroong copy or sinend mo na sa mga klase mo. Mamaya na, ha? Mamaya na. Okay? Pwede mong i-chat yung jowa mo, pero kung may jowa ka man sa class, pwede mong i-chat sa kanya yung tamang sagot. Pero mamaya na. Kung meron ka man jowa dyan, ha? Well, sabi mo, these people, I don't think so. They're beneath me. Ganon. Okay, Ariane. Oh, Ariane. Hello, Ariane. I haven't seen your face since last Friday. Okay. Charles Andrew. Let's see if she has the correct answer, Moyo. Let's see. Yeah, Charles Drew lang. Walang Andrew. Ikaw naman. Charles, sabi mo nga, nag-try ka. Thank you. You are partially correct. Charles Drew. Ayan si Charles Drew. Ang cute-cute ni Charles Drew, di ba? Medyo nakakalbo na. Pero di ba, he is the father of blood banking because he was the one to establish the first American Red Cross. Okay? He's the first one to establish the first American Red Cross. And by the way, the American Red Cross, the Red Cross has a different, because I've been traveling the world, charat talaga. Because I've been traveling the world, I get to know the other branches, the other types of Red Cross. Now, in the Middle East, it's called Red Crescent kasi they don't have a cross there. Okay? The crescent actually is for the Islamic moon. Okay? So, if you get a job offer from an institution in the Middle East and it's Red Crescent, girl, take it. Okay? Take it. Okay? It's the best thing that you get. It's the best job experience that you'll have, because in the Middle East you'll see a lot of blood types, because especially in Dubai and Abu Dhabi and even in Saudi Arabia, they have a lot of visitors from all over the world, and it became a melting pot for genetic anomalies and other blood group systems to pop up. So it is one, if you really want to take the route of being a blood banker, go, if you got a and you got it, and you got the opportunity to work in Red Crescent, girl, take it, okay? Renmar, ha, Renmar. Okay? Pag merong job offer, kunin mo na kaagad. Wala nang patumpik-tumpik pa. Pero i-double check mo din sa POAA kung scam 'yon. Okay? Wag lang, ay sabi ni sir. Sabi ni sir. Ba, isa sa mga tinuturo ko sa maging bright, ha? Aside sa pagiging pretty. Check ka na sa pretty kasi kamukhang kamukha kita eh, di ba? Anak na anak kita eh. Alright? Okay, next slide please. Next slide. All right. Who is oh my God, the first chairperson in the Philippines. Akalain mo yun pag-uusapan natin ng Pilipinas. Syempre, diyan ako pinanganak eh. All right. So who was the first chairperson? Makikita niyo ang picture niya mamaya. Okay? Sino makakasagot niyan? Sige, mag-offer ako ng 1 point for the first person who can answer the question within 10 minutes. Oh, Arian na naman. Ayun naman si Arian. Chinat yan ni Moyo. Alam na natin talaga yan ang jowa ni Moyo. Charing lang. Okay, go. Taray talaga. Alright, I love it. Very good. Can you show? Oh, di ba si Mother? Ang cute. Credits to wikipedia.com kasi baka ma-take down yung video natin. Huwag natin kalimutan. The other one for Charles Drew, credits to ano din. I forgot to credit the people who are to ano din yan, to wikipedia.com yan. Baka ma-take down yung ano natin, yung video natin. Kawawa naman kayo. Alright? Okay. Now, let's go on to the next slide, please. ABO blood group system. Bakit inuulit-ulit to, sir? Bakit kailangan itanong? O si Patrick Noel, sige, kahit antok na yan. Taray talaga. Partida yan, no? Nag-ano pa yan. Nag-ano pa yan, nagla-live stream pa yan. Oh, taray ni Father, oh, ayan. Oh, this is from from thoughtco.com, by the way. This is Carl Landsteiner. Bongga yung mustache ni Father, no? Father Earth. No, bongga ang mustache niya. I love it. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Who discovered the ABO blood group? The AB blood group system. So there's an ABO and there's an AB also. Ariane. Taray, kumpletong-kumpleto talaga. Oh. Pwede naman sa akin si Sturley lang. Taray, talagang chinat talaga ni Marion yan sa kanya. Ginagawan ko kayo ng issue, yes. Ginagawan ko kayo ng issue if that doesn't make sense to you guys. if it isn't clear. All right. Now, let's move on to the next slide. We have to review genetics, of course. I think one of the prerequisites to take immunohematology or blood banking in your exam when you're in college is you have to take a genetics class, but specifically cytogenetics, right? How well do you remember your genetics, Patrick? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I don't remember a thing, and 10 being, oh girl, I can answer that in a heartbeat. 5, taray. At least you have an idea, di ba? What about my Junakis? From 1 being Renmar, from 1 being girl, I don't remember a thing. I was so drunk. To 10 being, child, I can answer that. How? Mga 4. So medyo angat lang ng konti si Patrick. Siguraduhin nyo kayong dalawa ha. Makakasagot kayo sa akin. Dahil kayo yung tinanong ko. Alright. Now, let's move on to the next slide, Moyo. Please, thank you. Alright, so how many chromosomes are there in a... Hang on a sec. Let me just double check if we're still streaming. We're still streaming, right? Okay, all right. Okay, I just want to check because there was a notification. All right, how many chromosomes are present in human nucleated cells? Take note of nucleated, okay? How many chromosomes are present in human nucleated cells? I'm asking for how many, not how many pairs, okay? Just to be clear. Patrick, very good. Pag 47, meron ng something wrong doon. You are correct. Okay? So, next slide, let's show them our presentation. Alright, so 46 chromosomes. You might get it in books, 22 pairs of autosomes or autosomal chromosomes and one pair of sex chromosome. Okay? If you get XX, you are what? A male or a female? So this is again another question that they may ask you in the certification exams or licensure exams. So, okay. So, I'll put that as a survey. If you get XX, are you male or female? Anong F? Male or female? Sino yung... Ang tamad naman mag-type ni Lil Zo. Taray. Alright, that is the end of our survey. Si Dexter hindi makasama kasi mali yung spelling. Okay? Dexter hindi makasama. Hindi makasama. So everybody is correct. I'm not gonna answer. I'm not gonna give extra points because everybody answered correctly. Okay? So yeah, that is correct. By the way, Moyo, please add a point to Ariane because she's been very active with history. Hopefully, you're going to be active with the subsequent slides. Okay? So yes, that is correct. If you're XX, you are a female. That's why we have the XG blood group. If that is your blood group or your blood type positive with XG, most probably 95% of the time you are a female, unless of course you have a genetic anomaly. And I'm not saying it's anomalous to be intersex, but when it comes to biology, we always have anomalies. Okay. Okay. So those people who are intersex, they have the tendency to have a funky XG chromosome presentation, okay, or the XG antigen presentation. Somebody raised their hand. What is that? Nobody? Okay. All right, let's move on to the next question. All right. This polynucleotide molecule, this polynucleotide molecule that this is dapat pali ang grammar, right? I was probably typing it wrong. Okay, this molecule carries all genetic material of an organism. This is a polynucleotide molecule that carries all genetic material of an organism. Mark. DNA, can we see? Very good. Okay, so that is basically the start of the dogma. We call it the dogma of human life. You start with DNA, then you produce you go with chromosomes, and then after chromosomes, you have DNA, RNA, and then proteins. Okay, that's how life begins, and that's how antigens also form because antigens are basically proteins. Okay, ganon. All right. Now let's move on to the next slide. Define the following. What is a gene and what is a locus or a loci? Alright? Kasi paulit-ulit yan lalabas sa mga exams niyo. This antigen is found in the loci blah 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 blah. Alright? So, I want you guys to be equipped with the necessary knowledge before we move on to the advanced concepts. Alright? So, a gene. What is a gene and what is a locus? Okay? Pagod na? I'll answer for you. A gene is a segment of DNA or DNA strand, that codes for a specific trait. Okay? Now, a locus is the location of the gene in a specific chromosome. Okay? So, gene is the whole DNA strand. So, it could be AU, mga nakikita nyo dun sa mga libro nyo na AU, yung ganon. What are the nucleotides pala? What are the nucleotides that are present in nature? Let's just call it nature because it's always the same in many animal species unless you live somewhere in the Orion Belt Nebula. Okay? So what are the nucleotides? There are 5 nucleotides. Okay. What are the 5 important nucleotides? Ganda ng background ni Renmar. Ganda ng background niya. Very green screen lang pala. Akala ko Oo. Mark, what are the 5 nucleotides? Mm-hmm. Diane. Yeah, you're correct. Diane answered the last one. It's thymine dapat. It's not tyrosine. It's thymine. Okay. Diane, just for your information, if you have to answer, okay, you have to raise your hand and unmute. Okay. Thank you, Diane. Don't worry. Don't worry. I think I haven't seen you since last. I haven't seen you in the last lecture, but yun yung house rules natin. Okay. Thank you. Let's move on to the next one. When you get called, that's the time you get to answer. All right. Thank you. All right, these are genes located at a specific locus that differ in nucleotide sequence in individuals of the same or related species. Naku, yan na naman tayo sa same at related species na yan. Ano ang shortcut natin dyan? Laging may ALL, di ba? Alo. So, ibig sabihin, it's an allele. We're talking about an allele. All right? Can you show them the next slide? Okay? So, every person here has varying alleles, but every one of us, our children or our potential children in the future can have A, B, or sorry, A, O, B, and AB alleles, right? Oh, sorry, A, B, O alleles. Okay? Kasi ang AB is a combination of A and B alleles. Right? Every one of us has different varying alleles, right? Because we belong in different species. Maybe Renmark could be part of a could be as me and Renmark could be part of a different society, I don't know, denomination of a society, but overall when we look at our genetics, we're all human, right? We have alleles. Now potentially Mark could have a child with A, B, and O alleles, right? Now it depends on who he marries and who he has an offspring with that determine what type of alleles will be present. Okay? So when we say allele, it's from the word allo. 'Di ba lagi kong inuulit sa inyo yung allo antigen, allo antibody, allograft, 'di ba? Same species, different same species could have the same antigens or antibodies, but that doesn't necessarily mean they have it all. Okay? You could be, I don't know, Renmark could be type A, Dexter could be type O, I could be type AB for all we care. And our children could have the same ones as us, but not necessarily 100% true. That's why we have a Punnett square. Yung sinabi ni Patrick, a Punnett square, right? Okay, now let's move on to the next discussion. There are two types of alleles. What are the two types? Who can answer this question? This is very good. This is a very good. This is a very good type of question. Okay, Arian Dorothy Kiambao. Bongga talaga si Arian Dorothy. Cis and grabe ka naman sa cis and trans. Nag-organic chemistry tayo. Charing lang. All right, who here could give another try? Unfortunately, Ariane, that is not the correct answer. Thank you so much, though, for participating. We look forward to your future answers. Angel, I saw Angel next. Oh no, that is not it. Thank you so much. Try again. Let's go with Bai. Bai raised her hand. Nasaan na si Bai? Ah, okay. Bye. Don't forget, I forgot to say salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Bye. All right. Okay. Who can answer? Andrea. Okay. Very good. All right. Very good. So from the definition itself, alleles are what? Alleles are a pair of genes, diba? Alleles are a pair of genes that can be present in one species, but not but cannot but all representations cannot be the same for individuals, right? Kaya nga alo eh, di ba? So, when you say homozygous, homosexual, lalaki sa lalaki, babae sa babae, di ba? Heterosexual, babae lalaki, di ba? Basically it. So, homo, same, same. Hetero, different. Okay? So, anong ibig sabihin nun? Bibigyan ko kayo ng example. What type of allelic presentation is this? O, di ba? Bongga naman. May ano pa. Allelic presentation. What type of allelic presentation is this? Look at your chat box. Okay? Survey tayo. Homozygous or heterozygous? Allelic presentation. All right. All right. Very good. Okay. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Very good. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. That is a homozygous presentation. So if you see this type of question, if you see questions, because it doesn't just apply here in blood banking, it also applies in hematology, specifically clinical hematology. You'll hear the words homozygous disease or homozygous genetic disorder, right? Or autosomal trait, mga ganon. This is where we learn these things or these terminologies, okay? So, sinabing homozygous, that is what you mean, okay? Representation of two different two alleles with the same denomination. Pag heterozygous, it could be AB, right? Since if we're talking about blood group systems, okay? Or it could be AO, okay? Right? Clear ang homozygous concepts at heterozygous concepts? Okay? I just gave a real world ano lang. Kita mo, mas madali talaga pag may real world analogies, no? Renmar, homosexual, same man to man, female to female. Okay? Pagka wala medyo hindi klaro ang concepts. But parang wala yung mga friends ko na na masarap maging barkada. Wala si Audrey. Tsaka si Renalyn. Parang hindi ko nakikita si Audrey at Renalyn. Excused ba yung mga yon? Parang nakikita ko lang si Bai, si Andrea, si Ariane, si Renmar, and Mark. Sawang-sawa na ako sa mukha ni Mark at saka ni Renmar. Okay? Gusto kong makita si Audrey. Kasi feeling ko masarap maging kasama yun si Audrey at saka si Renalyn. Nasaan yung dalawa na yun? Sir Marco, absent ba sila? Where are you? Ay, ayan na siya, oh. Ay, ayan na. Okay. Alright. Ikaw ngayon ang pagtitripan ko. You will be my person. You will be my person today. Okay? For the next discussions. Okay? Next sa subsequent slides. And this is the number of copies a specific gene is present in an organism's genome. Who can answer that one? This is the number of a specific gene that is present in an organism's genome. You will hear this term again, especially when we discuss the Kell and the Duffy blood group system. I'll give 10 more seconds for people to answer. Mark. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, since si Mark lang ang sumagot at hindi nag-raise ng hand ng ibang tao, Moyo, can you please add a point for Mark? Thank you, Mark, for answering that one. That is gene dosage, okay? So, you'll hear dosage all the time, especially in specific blood group systems. What dosage means is from the name itself, the amount of antigen that is going to be present in the cell surface in terms of blood banking, okay? So we're always talking here in terms of blood banking, okay? Gene dosage can be a different presentation in transplantation medicine, okay? So that is something that is left for another topic, okay? For blood banking, this is the amount of antigen that can be present based on the allelic presentations, okay? All right, now let's move on to the next one. What are the implications of gene dosage to gene expression? Implications, okay? So there are two things that you need to remember when there is dosage and gene expression in your exam. So sometimes you may be asked to explain in your exams. You may be asked to explain certain concepts, like all of the following are true except. I think you guys are familiar with that type of questioning. I like to do those kinds of questions when I'm making my exams. I like to make those questions when I make the exams. So please, okay, please be mindful of the concepts also. Okay. Now, one thing that you need to remember is that dosage imparts the proportionality of the amount of gene expressed by the cells. In terms of blood banking, it is the RBC antigens. Okay. Dosage can also changes in dosage can also result in phenotypic consequences. examples, deletions, insertions, and etc. Okay? So, they could be it could be directly proportional to the gene product, as in the RBC antigens, and it can also result in phenotypic consequences, okay? Such as gene deletions and insertions. Kasi ano ba ang product ng genes or ng DNA natin in general? Ano yung sinabi ko kanina? The dogma of biochemistry is what? DNA, RNA, and protein. 'Di ba? Yun ang lagi niyang produkto. Nagiging glycoprotein lang kasi there are free-flowing carbohydrates around. Okay? And it binds to specific parts of those. But that is going beyond the scope of our discussion for today. That is biochemistry. Okay? Now, let's move on to the next key concepts that you need to remember. The total genetic composition of an individual, next slide please, is genotype. So when we say genotype, ito yung AO na yan. Yung mga AO na nakikita nyo na yan. Pero, pag sinabi kong AO, ang genotype ng pasyente, AO, ano ang blood group niya? Ganito ang genotype niya. Sige, complete tayo. AO. Yan. Ganyan ang genotype presentation natin sa blood banking. Okay? Example ko lang to ha. There could be different genotypic presentations, especially in the RH system. Okay? So I'm using the ABO blood group system for you guys to easily digest the key concepts of genetics. Okay? So AO, ang blood group daw according to Kim is O. All right. Kim, you've forgotten our house rule. You have to raise your hand. Okay, you have to raise your hand, right, to be called, okay, because we don't want to leak the answers. All right, anyways, thank you, Kim, though. All right, Kim Kylie Dominguez, thank you so much. So the type of the blood type of the patient is O. All right, mamaya natin di-discuss kung bakit. What about this one? What's the blood type of the patient? Kim, ikaw ulit. A. Very good. We'll discuss later why. All right. Now, let's move on to the next slide. The detectable or expressed genes of an individual. Detectable or the expressed genes of an individual. So you have the total and the expressed. Okay. So let's go with Mel. Mel was the first one to answer the question, to raise his hand. What's your answer, Mel? Phenotype. Very good. Phenotype is basically the thing that I'm telling you guys, that I'm asking Kim earlier. She was able to answer A. Oh, she was able to answer A. Why? Because she knows what the phenotype is, right? She knows what the phenotype is based on the person's genotype. Genotype is the total composition. Okay, the total genetic composition of a particular trait. It could be termed as that. Okay. Sometimes examiners such as myself will play around with the words and confuse you. But you have to remember to read the questions carefully and understand what is being asked, okay? So when you're asked a phenotype, it is the detectable or the expressed gene. Okay? The expressed gene. So, for example, our the one that we have here. The one that we have here, AAO. What is the genotype? That is the genotype. The phenotype is type O. Why? Because when you use the anti-sera, what? It will agglutinate A or B anti-sera? A. Because the anti-sera is anti-A. Right? So clear? The expressed one is there. What happens to the O, sir? Saan napunta yun? Naka-code lang siya. Okay? Parang ano yan, I like to use an analogy again because as we've learned from the game that me and Mr. Marco have been playing for quite some time, analogies make us easier, makes complex topics easier to digest. I'll give you an example. Your genotype is you're a human, right? When you're wearing a mask, that's what your presentation is. But the whole human is there underneath the mask. Do you understand? Do you guys understand? So the mask or your skin is what is seen on the outside. But what is inside, we don't know unless we do genetic testing. Correct, Ariane? Right? So based on looking at Mark Segi, will we know immediately what his blood group is? No, right? But what we can do is we can subject him to phenotyping, which is using antigens, or I sorry, which is using anti-sera to detect what his blood group is. Now, if we want to go further, we can subject Mark Segi to genetic typing to understand why his antibody presentation is like that. You understand? Or sorry, why his antigen presentation is as such. Okay? So hindi natin alam, 'di ba? Ang makikita lang natin is mukha ni Mark Segi. Okay? Pero malalaman ba natin pag tiningnan natin si Mark Segi kaagad? Hindi. Ang una lang nating malalaman is pag kinuhanan natin siya ng dugo at gumamit tayo ng anti-A or anti-B, nag-agglutinate siya sa anti-A, ang blood type niya is A, 'di ba? Yun yung sinatawag nating presentation. There's always like a mask. You'll see a mask every time you forget the terms of masks, you forget the concepts of genotypes and phenotypes, just refer to Mark Segi. Tingnan nyo yung maskara niya. Okay? Okay? Clear ba, Angel, yung yung Angel Bayhon? Clear ba siya? Medyo parang nasusuka si Clear? Okay. Medyo parang nasusuka si Angel eh. Nakakasuka ba yung Tinitingnan kasi niya si Mark Segi. Mark Segi naman kasi. Medyo nakakaloka daw yung itsura mo eh. Nagtago tuloy si Mark. Ayun. Anyway, we'll go to the next slide. Next again. Alright, so let's try to apply all the concepts together. Which one is the genotype and which one is the phenotype? Okay? Who can answer that one for me? Raise your hand if you can answer the card for me. Kim. Okay, let's see. Can we see if she's correct? Tsara nang may ganun pa. Hoy, saan nang galing yan? Walang ganyan yan. Anong ginawa ko yan? Bakit meron pa fade effect? Moyo anong ginawa mo? You're going above and beyond what I'm asking So, she's correct, okay? But meron pa fade effect? Ngayon ko lang nakita yun Anyways, thank you, Kim. Okay? Can we add 1 point to Kim, Moyo? Thank you. Alright. Now, let's move on to the next concept. Genotype is a combination of what? Ayan naman, paulit-ulit lang naman to si Sir Manuel eh. Genotypes are a combination of what? Sino yung maingay? Charet. Sino yung maingay? Charet. Okay. So, genotypes are a combination of what? Patrick. Very good. Very good. Kasi syempre tatanungin natin, saan nanggaling yung A at saka AO na yan, di ba? Yung AA na yan tsaka AO. Maternal and paternal genes. Thank you, Patrick. Alright. Now, let's move on to chromosomal, next slide please. Yeah. What are the two types of chromosomes? So we have two types. Not gonna go and delve deep into this because I've already discussed this. But let's just go in and understand what I'm asking here. Let's go to the next slide. So you have somatic chromosomes and autosomes, and you have sex chromosome. 1 pair, 22 pairs. Okay, just don't forget it. Sometimes they ask you, sometimes it's not. But all you got to remember is that you have 46 chromosomes, and this is where you get it from. Okay, these are the pairs where you get it from: somatic chromosomes or autosomes and sex chromosomes. Okay. By the way, again, if you are XY, what is your biological phenotype? Are you male or female? If you're XY, Angel. Very good. Thank you so much. All right. Next slide, please. Eto na yung kanina kong naririnig pa ulit-ulit. What is the difference between a dominant and a recessive gene? Who can answer that question? You can use our example here on the chat. Okay, Patrick. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now that is correct. That is correct. Now my next question is survey for you guys before we move on to the next cop. Oh, next slide, please. Forgot. Yeah, that's the next slide. So genes that are phenotypically observed as a trait, that is a dominant gene. Genes that cannot be observed but nonetheless present in the patient's genome is a recessive gene. Now I have a question. Suppose that this is Patrick's phenotype. We'll use this question again with that is Patrick's phenotype. Okay, Patrick. Okay? Oh, phenotype. Phenotype yan. Okay? So, yeah, tandaan nyo yung nasa taas. AA/AO. Right? That is Patrick's phenotype. And, let's find somebody for, I'll arrange a marriage for Patrick. And let's say I arranged a marriage and he got married to, wait, baka mamaya maano na naman ako eh. Madali na naman ako dito, no, Mark? Yung nagtawag ako pang babae ang pangalan, tapos lalaki pala. Naganyan na ako last week. Hanap tayo ng babae, yung talagang nakikita yung muka. Okay. So, yon. Let's go with Andrea. So, let's say, for example, I arranged a marriage for Patrick and Andrea. And Andrea had this phenotype. Genotype. Okay? What would be the recessive gene there in both parents'? What would be the dominant first? Let's go with what would be the dominant. That'll be your survey question. What would be the dominant gene there in both Andrea's and Patrick's phenotypes? Type A. Type A. Everybody says type A. Now, what would be the recessive gene there? We'll end with Jeremiah. Okay. What would be the recessive gene there? O. Okay, so everybody understood the concept. Very good. So, from that very definition alone, please don't forget the two concepts, okay? The concept of recessive versus a dominant gene. Dominant gene is something that is always presented if it's present in the genome, okay? So for example, Patrick marries a woman that is AOAO, okay? We know that the antigenic presentation of that person is going to be when we blood type the lady, she will be type A because type A or the allele for the A antigen is what? The dominant gene, right? Dominant gene. We'll go back to that concept when we talk about the ABO antibody, the ABO blood group systems. But essentially, the concept of our dominant and recessive genes are expressed explicitly in this discussion. In that discussion, okay, we can have that. We will go back to that discussion in RH blood group systems. Okay, so please don't forget that one because there's a different allelic presentation there. Okay, when I say allelic presentation, ito na yon. Okay? Ang pinag-uusapan ko yung alleles ng pasyente. Okay? Or ng ating example. All right? Now, say for example, ito yung blood group ng pasyente. Alleles ng pasyente. What would be the blood type? Mali. A pa rin. 'Di ba? Kasi ang sinabi ko, what? Ano ang sinabi ko? Yung dominant gene, siya yung makikita, 'di ba? So kahit na may double dose ka ng nakita niyo yung dosage, 'di ba? Kahit na may double dose ka ng O, since recessive gene siya, hindi mo siya makukuha. Makukuha mo lang siya kung ganito. Which is nearly impossible. Right? Which is very nearly impossible. Okay? Very kasi usually it goes like this. Initially, Initially, hindi mo siya pwede ano. Pero type A ka dapat. Okay? Kasi ang ano mo is, meron kang A. Alright? Dominant ang gene mo ng A. Okay? Next. Next slide, please. Alright. What term is used to denote the expression of two dominant genes on the same allele? Okay? Two dominant genes on the same allele. That means it's codominant. Okay? Now, we go back to the ABO blood group system again to give you guys a full explanation of this. Say, for example, Andrea's genome is, or phenotype, genotype is this. What would be her blood type? What would be her blood type? A and B are both dominant genes. Right? A and B are both dominant genes. What would be her blood type if you get that type of allelic presentation or genotype? Cielo. Very good, because it is codominant. Okay? Thank you so much, Cielo. Alright. Very good. Next slide. Right? So, an example of that is the codominant expression of AB. Why? Kasi class, A is a dominant gene, B is a dominant gene. Now, in some blood group systems, they can't be just one. Sometimes they want to become co-captains. And when they want to become co-captains, you give them the same phenotypic expression. Okay? Hence the gene expression or the phenotypic expression of AB. Okay? Pag dalawa silang dominant, in the case of A blood group system, ABO blood group system, A and B are both dominant genes. Okay? That means it could be presented as well. That both alleles will be presented as well. Okay? Clear? Clear ba, Mel? Carry ka pa, Mel? Okay. Medyo nagtutwitch na yung mata ni Mel eh. Baka mamaya naantok pa si Mel. Okay ka pa, Mel, ha? Sure, ha? Okay. Alright. Alright, next slide, please. Let's talk about the chromosome locations. Ano kaya ang mamememorize nyo? Mamememorize nyo sana ay ang ABO lang at saka ang RH. Kung meron man kayong i-memorize ABO and RH, yun ang patatandaan ko sa inyo before we move on to the next one. Because we'll just breeze through these slides as fast as we can. Next slide. Okay. Major blood group systems are located in chromosome that are located in chromosome 1 is what? Major blood group system is NAFI. Ayan ang mnemonic natin, NAFI. RAFI pala. RAFI. Ibig sabihin RH at saka DAFI blood group system. Okay? Chromosome 1 sila. Okay? Move on to the next slide. Chromosome 4. Chromosome 4, what blood group system do we see in chromosome 4? I just put it in chronological order so that you guys can remember it easily by numbers. MNSS for chromosome 4. Next slide. Is that correct? Yeah, I'm still correct. Okay. Now, blood group systems that are located in chromosome 7. Yeah, 7 is the next one. That is the KEL blood group system. Can we see if I'm correct? Yes. Okay? So, bakit ko to binabadali? Because we have a lot of topics to discuss and we don't have enough time and I don't want to play with y'all time. Alright? Okay? So, we have a lot of time. You guys have that in your books. I know you do. But just so I can remind you, the most important ones that you need to remember is RAFI and yung ABO blood group systems. Okay. Now, chromosome 9. Chromosome 9 tayo. What is chromosome 9? What's located in chromosome 9? The ABO blood group system. The ABO blood group system. Is that correct, Moyo? Okay, so I still remember those things. So, di ba, ang tagal ko nang hindi nasagutan tong mga flashcards ko na to. Pero naalala ko pa rin. Ganun talaga no pag nag-aaral lagi. Kaya kailangan mag-aral lagi para hindi magkaroon ng suki card. Okay? Para hindi magkaroon ng suki card. Balik-balikan nyo lang to, promise. I assure you, you will pass your exams. Paulit-ulit. Okay? Which is the major blood group system? Major blood group system found in chromosome... Okay, number 18. Number 18 is the kid blood group system. Tama ba ako? Can we see? Very good. Mnemonic. When you're 18, you're no longer a kid. Double D. O, di ba? Yung alala mo, when you're 18, you're no longer, mali pati ang ano ko. Bata pa ako nung nagawa ako ng flashcards ko na yan. Mali ang grammar ko dyan. Pakipalitan nga yan, Moyo. Lagyan mo ng RE yung ano, yung your. When you're 18, nakita nyo kung gaano pa ako ka-imperfect noon. Charit. Hindi ako perfect hanggang ngayon, ah. Imperfect ako noon. Mas imperfect ako ngayon lalo. Okay? Pakipalitan yan mamaya, ha. When you're 18, gawin mong RE yung dulo niyan, ha. Apostrophe RE yan when you're 18. You're no longer a kid. Alright? Number 19. I think the next one is 19. Yeah. So you have three blood group systems in 19 kasi denoted by the number 3 over there at the side. I think it's H gene, Lewis, and Lutheran. HLL yung ano ko. HLL yung shortcut ko dyan. Oh, 'di ba? H gene, Lewis, and Lutheran. What's the H gene for? If you have a phenotypic H gene, you'll have this in your allelic expression or in your phenotypic expression. Ano yan? Anong ibig sabihin yan? Anong ibig sabihin pag ganyan ang allelic expression mo? Ano mo? Or ganito ang ano mo? Ganito ang presentation ng genotype mo or ng phenotype mo. You are type O. H gene denotes the base form of all ABO antigens. Remember the H antigen, right? There's really no O antigen per se. Wala tayong tinatawag na O antigen. H antigen basically codes for the base forms. Okay? So when you have the H gene, you code for the base forms. And then if you have the H gene plus the A gene, you'll have type A. Kaya nga sinabi ko, 'di ba, the absence of two dominant genes will give you a recessive gene. Kaya siya laging tatago. Gets nyo? 'Di ba? Type O 'yan. If you got a double dose of H gene, you get type O. Okay? Or that allele will express type O. Okay? Okay? Clear ba, Mel? Nagtitwitch na naman yung mata ni Mel. Naantok pa ata si Mel. Mel, ha? Last time hindi nagtitwitch yung mata mo. Okay? Alright. Next. Bongga yung name nitong isa nating student. Chanelu. I love it. Bongga ang name ni ano. Alright. Gusto ko yan. It's very Becky. Chanelu. I love it. Parang gusto ko ding anakin. Chanelu. Oh my God. Gusto ko maging Junakis din si Chanelu. Alright. Renmar, meet your kapatid. Chanelu. Alright. I love it. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next one. Chromosome 22. In chromosome 22, we see the P1 and PK blood groups. Okay? Is that correct, Moyo? Can we see? Alright. P1, PK. Alright? So those are your blood group systems that you find. And I think the next slide will be a summary of everything. Can we see? Right. Okay? So if you want to remember something, remember the ABO and the RH blood group system, because those are the ones that are usually asked in the board exams. I know there's a long list if you have the latest copy of Harmoning, okay? But right now, I'm telling you now, put a star on 1 and 9, okay? Because that was the one that was asked in the board exams for one of my friends, alright? Now, let's move on to the next one. An immunology review na naman tayo. We're gonna stop at that. I think we've been having a discussion for more than an hour, right? Let's go and have a 10-minute break, okay? I'll end the live stream, Moyo. Please remind me to open the live stream again later because I might forget, okay? All right? Okay, so we'll have a 15-minute break because girl, I need to drink a glass of water.